Check, check. Check, check. Ma'am. Check. Check, 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 check. 1, 2. Check, 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 check. Ma'am, ito po. Check, check, check.
Testing, testing. Mic test. Mic test. 1, 2, 3. ABC. Testing, testing. Mic test.
Makapagbababa naman po ng PVL.
Dapat lang.
namang problema kung sino yung darating sa amin sa teammate. Kasi ano naman sila, kung bago sila, mas kami hindi naman pinakita na parang kulang kami, hindi namin iniisip yon kasi kami
Lalabas, referee.
Hello.
Referee ka papasok. Presenting to you the our officials, first referee, blah, blah, blah. Second referee, blah, blah, blah. Lalabas, paghiwalay si referee. Okay. Paghiwalay ni referee, players na. Okay.
Hello. Mic test. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Mic test. Check mic. 1, 2, check.
Finally, I can hear you.
Yes.
Pero medyo faint lang yung sarili kong voice. But
Okay, mic test. Mic test. Check mic. 1, 2, check.
at awitin natin ang ating pambansang awit. Delino, former chairman of Sports Vision Management Group, and Mr. Cesar Malapitan, former operations head. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Have passed since the return of Philippine volleyball, and fans spectated through their screens as we were situated far away from the metro. But now we are live here in Paco Arena, Manila to witness the heart of volleyball beat to the rhythm of the city. With brewing rivalries, novel team-ups, and players coming home ready to set their magnanimous presence back in the courts. This will surely send all PVL fans out there into a frenzy. Champions, legends, long-awaited debuts, dreamers will finally return to make their mark. With fiery sets, bewildering strategies, powerful spikes, formidable blocks, and on-the-dot receptions, this season character will be built and dreams will be achieved. Today we are going to attain a lot of unforgettable highlights. And the question is, from which team, which player, and of course, as we tune in until the end, from which champion? Let's find out together here on the Premier Volleyball League on One Sports.
Now there is nothing like having professional volleyball back in the rotation, and the heart of Philippine volleyball has all your favorites with a few new twists. It is opening game day here at the Paco Arena Sports and Event Center in Manila as we bring you One Sports' exclusive coverage of the Premier Volleyball League 2022 Open Conference. Now, to kickstart our 5th season, we have 4 teams from Pool A battling it out for our Wednesday doubleheader. And at 3 p.m., we have the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers going up against the debuting F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. And at 6 p.m., the defending champs, the Cherry Tigo Crossovers, will face the revamped Signal HD Spikers. You can catch all the action right here on One Sports. Hello everybody, my name is Billy Capistrano and joining me today is none other than our birthday boy. It was his birthday yesterday, Neil Flores. Neil, first off, belated happy birthday, and I am so excited to be working with you.
Hi, Billy. Thank you so much. And it still feels surreal that we are finally back here, live na live sa Paco Arena. And I'm just grateful that Philippine volleyball is slowly returning to normal. And I'm sure that the volleyball fans have been counting down the days till the return of PVL. Kaya hindi natin sila bibitinin as we serve today's doubleheader.
Exactly, and the energy here at the Paco Arena is absolutely electric. Now, Neil, before anything else, of course, we have to talk about our conference format because it's a bit different from what we're used to and what we followed last year. So first off, we have 2 pools. For Pool A, we have the Army Black Mamba Lady Troopers, the Cherry Tigo Crossovers, the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, the Signal HD Spikers, and of course, the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Now, moving on to Pool B, we have the Bali Pure Purest Water Defenders. There we go. Creamline Pool Smashers, the Petrogas Angels, as well as the PLDT Home Fiber Power Hitters. So now that we're done discussing both our pools, both in Pool A and Pool B, pag-usapan naman natin ang ating preliminaries.
Yeah, the 9 participating teams were split into 2 pools. Pool A has 5 teams while Pool B has 4. For the preliminary round of competition, each pool will play in a single round-robin format and only 4 teams from each group will move on to the quarterfinals. So the 5th ranked team in Pool A will automatically be placed in the classification round. However, it's important to note that in the quarters, the top 2 teams from each pool will gain a twice to beat advantage.
Alright, so done with the preliminaries, puntahan naman natin ang ating quarterfinals, and this is where things get a little bit tricky.
Yeah, the first ranked team from one pool will face the 4th ranked team from the other pool, while the 2nd ranked team will face the 3rd ranked team in their opposing pools also. The losers from each matchup are then dropped to the classification round. The losers of Q1 and Q4 matchups will be grouped with the eliminated team from Pool A, and those 3 teams will play a single round robin format to determine the 7th to 9th placers of this conference.
Malapit na. So moving on to the semifinals naman, Neil, I'm pretty sure that this, is something that our fans are used to.
Yeah, the semifinals, wala tayong masyadong babaguhin. It will still be a best of 3. Q1 against Q3, Q2 against Q4. Kung sino ang mananalo dyan will enter our finals, and whoever loses will enter the battle for 3rd. All of which will be of a best of 3 series.
There you go. Ang daming sinabi ni Neil. But thank you so much, Neil, for explaining everything very thoroughly. And for all our fans who are still a bit confused, don't worry. We will keep on refreshing your minds. And as the season progresses, it will be easier to understand. Now, Neil, let's get to the fun part. Let's talk about our 2 teams competing today. Of course, starting things off with the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers headed by Coach Kung Fu Reyes. Now, when I hear about this team, one word comes to mind: veterans. They always have familiar faces and pretty much the same lineup that they field in, which they did field in last year in the 2021 PVL Open Conference. Kaya lang, may nagbago sa lineup na ito, Neil. Can you explain to us what are the changes and what do you think that's going to happen to this team coming into this conference?
Actually, the biggest difference from the last conference will be the absence of Jovelyn Gonzaga and Nene Bautista, 2 of which are the backbone in the Philippine Army. So, itong conference na to, we will see kung sino yung mga bagong recruits nila na mag-step up to fill in the void na naiiwan nung dalawang sinabi ko kanina.
Absolutely. It'll be so exciting to watch our veterans play with the newer, younger players in their team. And speaking of one of the veterans, the backbone also of this Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers team, Ging Balsepabayo, we talked to her a while ago, and this is what she had to say when we asked her about what motivates her in the PVL.
Sa amin naman, wala namang problema kung sino yung yung darating sa amin sa teammate kasi ano naman sila, kung bago sila, mas kami mga senior na welcome namin yun. And then kung ano man, hindi naman pinakita na parang kulang kami, hindi namin iniisip yun kasi kami sa army talaga lalaban kami. Kung sino man darating sa amin, kung sino mang mag-line up sa amin, palaban din yung napunta sa amin. Siguro napag-usapan namin sa teammate, buong team, ang goal talaga is mag-top 4. Pero bago namin mangyari makuha yun, dapat kailangan man namin tiyaga sa training at saka syempre, kailangan namin palagi manalo sa siguro sa akin, ayun na yun ito na yun dugong talaga value. Pag kaya ko kasi, kaya ko maglaro. Pag andun pa yung tiwala ng mga coaches sa akin, sa mga teammates sa akin, kaya po maglaro. At gagawin ko din ang best ko. At siyempre, laking tiwala nila sa akin. Kaya yun.
That's one of the household names in Philippine volleyball. You have Ging Balsepabayo. And I like what she said, lalaban kami hanggang kaya. Kung sino man dumating, haharapin namin.
Kaya naman sila part of the Army, Neil. Now let's move on to the other side of the fence. Pag-usapan naman natin ng F2 Logistics Cargo Movers with Coach Ramil De Jesus at the helm. Now, what can you say about this roster coming into the Open Conference? Because it's very different, Neil, from what we're used to seeing from this team. And also, this game marks your debut as a professional volleyball team.
That's correct. The Cargo Movers are finally making their debut in Philippine professional volleyball. They weren't able to participate last conference, but they showed no signs of rust as they swept the PNBF Champions League. And as you can see on your screen, yung key holders, nandyan pa rin yung standard first six nila. They are losing Kalimao, but with the addition of Iris Tolenada, Zier Basho, and Shola Alvarez, F2 is still one of the teams to look out for in this conference.
And of course, hindi mawawala dyan si Abby Maranyo, ang kanilang kapitana. And we also had a chance to talk to her rather a while ago about how excited this team is for the PVL. Let's watch this.
I guess yung biggest strength talaga ng team namin is we're solid ever since we started playing for F2. Matagal na kami magkakasama since college. May mga ibang players na napunta sa amin pero yung sistema, na-adapt na din nila. So talagang yung chemistry and gelling sa loob ng court, nandun na. May giggle kasi last conference, nanginayang kami na hindi kami kasama. So sumali din kami ng ibang competition prior to this. Yun yung isa sa mga paghahanda siguro na ginawa ng team namin. And nag-ensayo na din kami since the year started. Yun yung mga preparation namin coming to this team. I guess it means a lot to us kasi hindi naman kami nag-ensayo at nagsasakripisyo ng madaming beses para hindi manalo. So every time na sumasali yung F2, talagang goal namin is mag-champion. Mas masarap sa pakiramdam at sa puso na makapanalo kami ng championship dito sa PVL kasi ito yung first pro league na sasalihan namin as a team.
Abby Maranyo, one of the most high-energy players dito sa ating PVL Open Conference. And a lot is expected of her as the main leader of this squad. Gusto ko talaga yung leader na walk the talk and she fits right into that role.
Of course, Abby Maranyo, very tenacious on the court as always and a very vocal leader to her teammates. Now, you were talking about expectations, Neil. What can we expect from both our teams? It might be a little too early to preempt things, but we want to know what we can expect from both the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers and the F2 Logistics.
You can expect them to leave it out all on the floor. Bakit? Kasi isang beses lang nila makakaharap ang isa't isa sa preliminary round. So they have to rack up as many wins as they can so that they can grab that twice-to-beat advantage.
Now, when we talk about how tenacious both these teams are and how focused they are for this tournament, sino kaya ang magiging matinding kalaban ng ating dalawang koponan?
It's hard to tell at this point. Actually, this conference, it's the hardest for analysts to predict what will come out of the preliminary round. But I am just excited to see all of these teams playing their heart out in this conference.
And of course, they will, not just for themselves, but also for the fans as well. Now, Neil, I feel like it's finally a time to wrap up our pregame. It's finally time to start our match number 1 of the 2022 Premier Volleyball League Open Conference. Here it is, Coach Kung Fu Reyes and the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers taking on Coach Ramil De Jesus and the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Only here on One Sports. Now, let's turn it over to our tournament announcer for the introduction of our starters in a little while. For now, we can take a look at your screens. We have our F2 Logistics Cargo Movers preparing for this matchup. Again, this is their debut game here in the PVL. And nakausap ko nga si Abby kanina at saka si Kiana D, and they are so excited to finally play with everybody, all the volleyball players that they grew up with.
And they will be facing against their former teammate in Mitch Morente. Dahil dati rin siyang player for the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. So we'll get to see how everything will play out for these two squads.
Yan, napaka-exciting talaga yung mga pangyari natin today because not just this game, we also have the next game. The Cherry Tigo Crossovers will be facing the Signal HD Spikers.
Yeah, we don't have fans right here in the venue, but hopefully soon enough we can welcome them back. Pero I am sure meron silang kani-kanilang watch party in their homes. So grab a friend, grab your family, grab a snack, sit back and relax as we give you today's doubleheader.
And finally, totoo na ito, we will now turn it over to our tournament announcer for the introduction of our starters.
Presenting our officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Lumer Pajarillo, National Referee. Second referee, Mr. Erwin Lou Cordero, National Referee. And now, let us welcome our starters for the Black Mamba Energy Drink Team. Let's begin with jersey number 3, Staff Sergeant Joan Bunag. At number 4, Private Ivy Perez. Wearing jersey number 9, Private Audrey Paran. Number 21, Private Jeanette Villarreal. Team Captain, number 15, Honey Royce Tubino. And number 13, Michelle Morente. Libero, number 1, Private First Class Christine Agno. Head Coach, Staff Sergeant Kung Fu Reyes. Presenting our F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Team Captain wears jersey number 2, Abigail Marano. At number 4, Victonara Ara Galang. Wearing jersey number 10, Mary Joy Baron. Number 11, Kim Kiana D. Number 15, Ernestine Tintin Tiamzon. And number 23, Iris Janelle Tolenada. Team Libero, number 5, Dawn Nicole Macandili. Head Coach, Mr. Benson Bokbok.
The volleyball action continues here at the Paco Arena. You're watching the PVL 2022 Open Conference only here on One Sports. Again, this is a game between the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers and the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers.
I'm sure the F2 fans are happy to see their team finally on board dito sa ating PVL Open Conference. It's their debut against the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers.
And to start things off,
you have Ivy Perez for the serve. We're just having a couple of technical difficulties with my partner, but she'll be right back in a moment. Aragala getting her first point of the match. Welcome to the PVL, F2 Logistics and Aragala. Black Mamba Army gets back that point. Audrey Paran serving. Now, Kim Lee getting involved in that scoring picture for F2. I know people are looking for Kim Fajardo. She's right here in the venue, but it is Iris Tolenada doing the serving chores for the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. And this was the same lineup that they fielded in that PNVF Champions League. It's another point for F2 Logistics. Galang still on the service line. Double block from Kim B and Majoy Baron. And isa yan sa mga aabangan ng ating PVL fans. The twin towers of F2 Logistics as they shut down Royce Tubino. Royce Tubino will be the primary option of the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers dahil wala po sa lineup si Jovelyn Gonzaga. He has a lot of work to do. Early timeout by the Black Mamba Army. F2 leads 5-1.
Ikaw, Royce, ano ginagawa mo? Simula pa lang, umaayaw na agad ngayon eh. May karga yun, sir? Wala. May karga yung palo? Wala. Meron tayong depensa? Wala din. Wala kang makakakuha ng bola, ayaw nung gumalaw. Ano kayo, mga bago? Kailangan nyo gumalaw, isa lang natin yun eh, di ba? Short pa lang yan.
Again, the score is 5-1 in favor of F2 Logistics. Aragalang still at the service line. Mitch Morente breaks through that double block. A former cargo mover now with the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers. And that has been the trend for Black Mamba Army. They have been mixing young guns with their veterans to find that cohesive six on the floor.
That is inside. F2 Logistics now with an early lead here in our first set. Ivy Perez making her debut here. They go to Michelle Morente, one of the newest additions as well to the Lady Troopers.
And that's her second point of the ball game. And makikita mo, she actually uses the block to her advantage, swiping it off the hands of Nicole Chamzon. That can be an advantage for Black Mamba Army dahil galing nga sa F2 Logistics si Michelle Morente. Alam niya yung mga tendencies or blocking patterns ng mga kalaban nila.
We'll go to our first technical timeout. F2 still leading 8-3.
yan ang mga error natin, pero ang laki ng tama sa atin. Ulitin natin ha. Walang karga palo, walang karga siyempre dribble, walang karga, service walang karga. Pero ang masakit, wala tayong pasa, wala tayong depensa, wala din tayong atake. Hindi tayo pumunta dito para ganyan lang. Tayo yung iniinsayo natin. Sabi sa inyo, kung gusto nyo manalo, trabahuin natin. Madali lang matalo. Ganyan. Talo tayo dyan. Wala pa tayong ginagawang puntos bukod yung kay Michelle. Andito na tayo. Hindi tayo mag-gawa.
5 points, 5 points. Harry! Okay, say so.
Sulit saya ang inyong panonood kasama ang Sulit TV. Entertainment, sports, news, and information, andito lahat. Mapapanood ang TV5, 1 Sports, 1 PH at lahat ng free-to-air channels. Siksik na, digital at malinaw pa sa halagang 780 pesos lang. With that, let's turn it over to our courtside reporter, Ai Tensai, for her report. Go ahead, Ai.
Star opposite hitter and a recent national team member Kim Kennedy is reassuring the fans of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers na magiging palaban sila this open conference dahil matagal na nilang inaasam makalaro ang mga teams na since college pa nila last nakalaban. Sabi nga nila that they are excited to show their fiery spirit on the court and they are happy and grateful that their bodies are conditioned given their last lead. Talaga namang mag-iinit ang F2 at Army this set 1. Bumalik tayo sa panel.
Thank you so much, Ai, for that report. Kiana D, also the MVP rather of the PNBF Champions League. And Neil, what can you say about this player and how much she has improved over the years under Coach Ramil?
She has developed a lot of other attack options and she has also developed her defense, lalo na yung blocking niya. Kaya hindi naman ako nagulat when she bagged that award in the PNVF Champions League. Now they're leading by 5.
5 points right here for the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. And at another point right now, they are 6 points ahead. Again, it is opening game day here in our PVL 2022 Open Conference right here at the Paco Sports Arena in Manila. Chance ball here for Army. Ivy Perez. Back set to Bunag. And that is straight to the net for the Lady Troopers.
She immediately apologizes for that error. It's also important to note na bago din yung setter ng Black Mamba Army, Ivy Perez. So they need that time to adjust with her sets also.
Now, Nina, I actually have a question about Ivy Perez. She is around 5'8", 5'9", if I'm not mistaken. Now, the other setter that we have, Sarah Jane Gonzalez, is around 5'3". So, gaano ka-importante or is it an advantage kapag matangkad ang setter?
Definitely, it is an advantage. Number one, for blocking purposes, mas malaking chances to deflect or shut out your opponent. And number two, you have that option to attack from the second touch also. So later on, pag pumasok man si Sarah Jane Gonzalez, she can provide a different flavor or different strategy for this Black Mamba Army. But right now, they have to cut that deficit because it's at 6 points already.
And you cannot give that lead to F2 this early because they might just run away with it. They go to Aragala. And of course, a lot of fans excited to see Aragalang back, one of the fan favorites. Let's take a look at that.
That's one of the hardest hits to make, yung bola galing sa likod, which we call a break ball. Then you still manage to convert it to a point.
We have the Kapitana, Chang Abi Maraño, her time to serve for F2. They will go to Gutierrez from the back row. And that is another point that will go to the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Nagtawag ng timeout si Coach Kung Fu Reyes.
Ang ganda-ganda ng first view, kakasalpakan mo ito, bibigyan mo pa agad. Naglabas nga tayo kasi ang daming error ni Royce. Kaya pagbalik, error na naman tayo. Walang ginagawa si F2, puro tapo natin yung score nila. Kanina pa yan, anong score na oh?
Nakakadalawang timeout na ako. Ano pa lang, 13 pa lang ang score. Hindi naman ganyan yung ini-ensayo natin. Wala mo lang ka-aggressive yung ginagawa nyo. Isipan nyo naman anong ginagawa nyo.
Coach Kung Fu really wants that sense of urgency here in the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers. Hindi daw yun yung ina-ensayo nila.
I would have to agree. He already burned 2 timeouts at this early stage of this match. And tama yung sinabi niya, they've been giving a lot of free points to F2 Logistics nang walang kahirap-hirap.
A lot of errors being given up by Army. And finally, a point for them here after that timeout. We have Ivy Perez, former Petrogas Angel. And she will be serving here. They go to Iris Tolenada, to Majoy Baron.
Now that's a sign of a good middle blocker. Sometimes hindi super perfect yung set na ibibigay sa'yo, but you still have to find a way to look for the gaps or the holes in the floor defense of your opponent.
Speaking of their setter, Iris Tolenada was the best setter in the PNBF Champions League. How do you think she's adjusting to this F2 team?
Well, it's a new team, different culture also in the Philippines. So, for sure, mahabang-habang oras ang ginugol nila sa training to be able to get to this point. Even without Kim Fajardo, they're still functioning like a well-oiled machine.
And I know that Iris Tolenada is one of the oldest members of this team at 30 years old. And she said in one interview that she's very happy to be under Coach Ramil because she gets to learn more. So even at that age, she is continuously growing and learning.
And just to add to that, Billy, hindi mahihirapan mag-adjust si Iris Tolenada because she has very good receivers in the back row.
Absolutely.
You have Tin Tiamzon, you also have Don Macandili. So, yung mga passes, ihahatid na lang sa kanya.
Parang ang sarap maging setter kapag si Don Macandili nga naman ang inyong ibero. And now we will go to our second technical timeout. F2 still with a lead, 16-17. Back to this game. Again, F2 with a lead, 16-17. They go to Villarreal. Ball is still alive. Chance ball here for Army. Ivy Perez, back set to Michelle Morente. Nunag to Perez. And here comes Tobino. And that is another error for Army.
She has been bothered by that double block of Kim D and Majoy Baron. Medyo mababa din yung contact niya dun sa bola. So she has to get her range first before exerting more power on her hits.
Pure dominance here by F2 being shown in the first set. They go to Morente. Balik sa kanila ang bola. Back to Tobino, tries a different approach. Great defense by Army. Here comes Kim Kiana D. She is blocked. Blocked again. Morente. Royce Tobino. Things not looking too good for Army here, Neil.
Another unforced error for the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers. She was trying to avoid that double block courtesy of that soft hit, but still didn't go over for Royce Tobino.
And you can definitely see that frustration on the face of Royce Tobino. She was one of the leading scorers for Army in the 2021 PVL Open Conference. Now without Jov Gonzaga, the load gets a little bit heavier for her. F2 now with a 10-point lead. Tolenada to Baron. Kiana D. Chance ball for F2. Who do they go to? Back to Kiana. And that sails outside for the MVP of the PNVF Champions League.
F2 has been getting a lot of free balls. Kaya ang daming choices ni Iris Tolenada to run her combination plays.
Things looking good for them here in the first set. And Army just not getting things right at the moment.
Still no go for Royce Tobino as Kung Fu tries to look for a substitute para makahinga muna at makapag-observe din si Royce Tobino.
And maybe to collect herself as well, because she's looking a little frazzled here in our first set. They go to Bunag. That is a point for Army. And here we go, the substitutions are coming in for Black Mamba. We can see Aiko Ordaz, one of the new players of this team as well, adding a little bit more height to the 6 on the court. Kiana will try again. Here comes Royce. That was Tin Tiamson for the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers.
Right now, F2 is just getting points from all over the court. Ganda ng distribution ni Iris Tolenada. Meanwhile, for the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers, they're still trying to figure out their offense, kung sino yung pupuntos para sa kanila.
Ordaz. That was Audrey Paran.
They
with a
badly
point
needed
for
that
Army.
point just to regain that confidence. Audrey Paran from the back row. One of the cleanest hits so far for Black Mamba Army.
And they definitely need more of that here in this first set dahil 20-11 na ang score natin. F2 with the lead. Aiko Ordaz chasing that. They go to Tin. Scrappy plays here for Army. Ultimately, that point will go to F2.
At this point, kailangan mag-usap-usap ng Black Mamba Army because volleyball goes beyond the physical capabilities of these athletes. Alam naman natin na develop na rin muscle memory when it comes to receiving, digging, attacking. But right now, everyone's just silent on the court.
And would you say that the chemistry maybe isn't there just yet for Army?
Looks like nagkakapaan pa din sila eh. And it clearly shows with the score.
You have Joe Bunag serving now, one of the more veteran players of this Lady Troopers team. They go to Abby Marano, signature move, gets it to go.
As you said, signature move from Chang Abby
Sporting the longer hair as well.
as we welcome her to the PVL.
And we miss that Chang Abby energy. Glad to have her in the PVL. And she will serve for F2. Iris. And then jams on straight to the net. Lucky point for Army.
At this point, Black Mamba Army is capitalizing on the errors of F2 Logistics. But later, when we take a closer look at the numbers, we'll get to see kung ilan ba talaga yung na-convert nila on their own.
Babalik si Michelle Morente. She needs to add that firepower here for the Lady Troopers. And as you said, Neil, importante ang communication on the court because we're here live and we cannot hear them talking and they're right in front of us, as opposed to F2 Logistics who have that constant communication. That is a clear violation on the part of F2.
Especially when you're an attacker, tapos bago yung setter mo, you have to be able to communicate kung ano yung type of set ba. Sometimes, attackers will want a higher set, yung iba mas mabilis, some differential, so it will really depend on how you talk to your setter.
And that is what's lacking on the side of the Lady Troopers right now. Ivy Perez is back on the court and she will serve. They will go to Aragalang. Another signature move from this F2 player, and we have seen that so many times, Neil.
Kala mo pupunta siya sa cross-court, then suddenly, yung flick of that wrist, papunta pala sa zone 1. Classic Aragalang for you.
Now it's 23-14 is our score with Cargo Movers in the lead. Ball is still alive. But that point will go to the Cargo Movers.
Actually, okay lang naman ma-block. As long as the coverage is there, the defenders are ready to pick that ball, wala tayong problema dyan. Because you have to give confidence to your attackers na pumalo ka lang ng pumalo, kami bahala dito sa likod.
Quick to think, quick to react. Chance here. And Majoya Smith at the net by Villarreal. Miscommunication on the part of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. They are at set point though, 24-15. Tolenada. They will go to Tobino. And she has been having troubles with her attacks this whole set here.
That ends our set 25-15 in favor of F2 Logistics.
You're watching the PVL 2022 Open Conference only here on One Sports. Game number 1 for us today, we have the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers and the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Now that set number 1 went to F2, the debuting F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Neil, what happened in that set?
No signs of rust again for F2 Logistics. People might think na dehado sila because they weren't able to participate in a very competitive Open Conference last year. But in this first set, they just showed us that they're still in their top 4. And Iris Tolenada doing a very good job distributing the balls to Aragalang, Tintiamzon, especially her middle blockers. Looking at the stats, you get 8 attacks for F2, 7 for Black Mamba Army. But the biggest difference was the defense of F2 Logistics. Talagang nahirapan yung mga attackers ng Black Mamba Army na magpalusot ng mga bola. They registered 5 big blocks with 2 service aces and hindi din nakatulong yung napakaraming errors na ibinigay ng Black Mamba Army.
So the Lady Troopers this time around in set number 2, they gotta keep their composure above everything else and they have to communicate on the court. Yun ang naging problema nila sa set number 1. As we move on to set number 2. An early point for the Lady Troopers. Hopefully a good sign for them.
Now you see them celebrating that first point. It's hopefully it's a different energy na ibibigay nila in the second set.
Tama ka nga, Neil, you said in that set number 1 na nangangapa pa sila. They were still trying to figure out that chemistry in set number 1 and hopefully they have it locked down already here in set number 2. They go to Aragalang. Bunag. Kennedy will try. That is a point for KKD.
F2 just firing from all cylinders. KKD not faced with 2 blockers in front of her, just hitting it off the hands, getting that point for the Cargo Movers.
Much to the delight of her teammates. Ara will serve. Tobino, much better this time around, Neil.
That's a confidence booster for Royce Tubino. Again, in the pre-game meet, we actually said this already, that the biggest difference will be the absence of Jovelyn Gonzaga. She managed to score 123 points in the previous conference, and that responsibility will fall dito sa shoulders ni Royce Tubino. And hopefully, magbago na yung output niya in the second set.
We are all counting on Royce Tobino to show up here, and things looking good so far for the Lady Troopers.
Better start for the Lady Troopers. F2 caught with a lifting violation.
Tobino will serve. And that is too long for the veteran. They go to Paran. Ball is kept alive. Good coverage. Chamson. Picked up by Nunag. They go to Tobino. Changes her attack. Back to Kiana D. And Paran. Over the block. Here comes Morente. Challenging the blockers of F2.
That's the 3rd or 4th time na ginawa niya na yun. And Tintiamzon has to adjust because she already knows that if Mitch Morente will be going up for that attack, papadaanin na naman sa outer hand niya.
Look at that save by Nunag, and she's also the best digger and receiver of her team. Credit that to her. Free ball given to the Lady Troopers. Yan nga yung sinasabi mo, Neil, palo lang dapat ng palo. And they look more confident here in the second set.
And they have to use that service line to their advantage. You have to be able to challenge the defenders of F2 Logistics so that you can force a broken play at maset up mo yung defense pattern mo at the back row. And kanina, kitang-kita natin that the libero of the Lady Army Troopers laging nakapwesto for that cross court, and they were able to transition into that running attack.
However, F2 wanted to answer back, and KKD was a girl for that. Take a look at that, Neil. Pure power from him, Kianadi, and we could hear yung palo as it reached the ground.
Villarreal was just too late to close out that gap.
F2 down by 2 points here as Kiana will serve. That will go to F2. Service ace for Kiana D.
Even in receiving, you have to be able to talk dun sa mga defenders sa likuran para at least alam nila yung specific zone na i-cover nila. Usually, when you're in that area, kung nasaan si Paran, you just get yung mga sumasabit sa net and you leave the rest dun sa mga nasa likod.
Great effort by Nunag. However, that point will go to F2. But you gotta credit also the hustle of their libero, Neil.
Yeah, she knows. Kaya sumenya siya ng isa pa because she knows that the ball will be going to her.
We are now tied at 5-all. Good start to our set number 2. They go to Michelle Morente. She is denied. Again, Nunag was right there. Who will take that swing? They go to Villarreal. Met at the net by Abby Parano. And I can Neil is right beside me, and he is enjoying this game.
That's one of the perks if you're watching live. You can really feel the intensity. Wala pa tong crowd sa lagay na to. What more when we welcome our volleyball fans back in the venue?
And hopefully, you know, someday or soon, we get to have the fans here. But let's get back to this game. F2 with a 1-point lead straight to the net for Kiana D. We are now tied at 6-all as Morente will serve for Army. Back-to-back service errors for both our squad.
It's very difficult to score a point against F2, so you have to be very careful to give away free points.
See Coach Kung Fu Reyes on your screens a while ago. And we're looking at the bench of F2 right now, and Coach Ramil De Jesus looks like he is not here. He's not present in our game.
Another point courtesy of that running attack. Abby Maraño didn't attempt to deflect that ball.
7-all now is our score. That is another service error as we go to our first technical timeout of set number 2, 8-7. F2 with a lead.
Tama, isang mali. 8 seconds ba? Puro ganyan na lang ang ginagawa niya. Puro ganyan.
Sulit saya ang inyong panonood kasama ang Sulit TV. Entertainment, sports, news, and information andito lahat. Mapapanood ang TV5, 1 Sports, 1 PH at lahat ng free-to-air channels. Siksik na, digital at malino pa sa halagang 780 pesos lang. Now let's turn it over again to Ai Tensai for her report. Go ahead, Ai.
Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers Coach Kung Fu told me that their ultimate goal for the first leg of the season is to survive the pool of death given their undefeated opponents. And if given the shots, talaga namang makapunta sila sa top 4 given that they reached top 6 last season. And for this game, they aim to convert their first blocks and passes to a point and also to be consistent with their first contacts. In their huddle, coach reminds them na gamitin ang pagkabaterano nila para makaangat. Let's see how they bounce back for this set 2.
Well, IE right on cue because they are definitely bouncing back here in set number 2. 2 points ang laman ng F2 but much better showing for Army. Also Royce Tobino, might I add.
Sabino still looking for that perfect set for her.
Aragalang finding that donut hole in the defense of Army.
That's Aragalang's 5th point in the match. Kim D's leading all the scorers for F2 Logistics with 7. On the other hand, for Army, we have Morente with 5 and Villarreal with 3.
They go back to Tobino. Again, she keeps hitting that antenna. Another attack error for her.
It was the right intention though for Royce Tubino. She was targeting the smaller blocker in Iris Tolinada, but the execution wasn't perfect.
Kapag ganon na, it keeps happening, those errors, do you have to change your approach? What do you do as a player?
Well, paminsan, hindi namin dinidiin agad, but I spoke to Soon, diniin niya na yun, and finally she got the point. You have to, as I said a while ago, you have to get your range of motion, yung angle kung saan mo gusto papuntahin yung bola. Then when you're comfortable with the contact of the ball, tsaka mo ngayon konti-konti dadagdagan yung power.
Definitely tougher than it looks. And now we have the F2 Logistics cargo movers still in the lead, 11-8. They will go back to Royce Tobino. And that's what we want to see for her, exactly that.
That's her 3rd point based off my unofficial count. Again, nasa kanya ang bola. She is expected to lead the Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers in scoring.
They go to Aragala again, just too much there for Audrey Paran. Great cross-court attack for Ghana.
This is probably the strongest lineup, I mean, strongest front line rather for F2 Logistics. They have Majoy Baron, Kim D, and Aragala.
However, momentum stopped because of that service error. Chance here for Army. We go to Kiana.
Now, Kim D with her 8th point of the match. It was relatively an easy ball to pick up, pero mukhang nagkaroon ng miscommunication with Ivy Perez and her defender.
Just a little too late for the girls in green.
And coaches would always say, you have to keep on talking. Hindi pwedeng tahimik on the court. Every move you make, you have to be able to communicate it properly. And with that said, Kim D again for F2 Logistics.
Kim D, Kiana D, soaring and flying for F2 Logistics. So far, great game for her. As we take a look at that again with an exclamation point.
That was above the blockers.
They go to Morente. Answers back.
And again, using the hands of the blockers to her advantage. We always say this, when in doubt, you can just check it out.
And that is definitely what Morente did right there as we go to Tobino, who serves. That is outside for Royce Tobino. Service error for Army. They are still trailing behind, this time by 4 points against F2. Service ace.
That catches the line. They've been challenging yung corner bucket na and they have been successful. We enter our technical timeout 16-11, courtesy of F2.
The 2022 Premier Volleyball League is also available on Smart Giga Play. So wherever you are, you can watch all our games here in the PVL. Exciting matchups up ahead. Again, right after this game, we have the defending champs, Cherry Tigo Crossovers, taking on the Signal HD Spikers. That should be a very interesting game for everybody.
There are a lot of revamped teams in this open conference. Dito mo mararamdaman yung player movements.
Surprising changes in lineup as well. We talked about it a while ago. I mean, we have Morente in Army. We have Ivy Perez here as well. Jess Maramos in F2 as well as Remka Iling.
We also have Zihar Vasho for F2 Logistics.
Who we have not seen yet. Hopefully she gets to play here. As we get back to this game, F2 with the lead, 16-11. They give it to Chamson. From the back row, Tobino. That is a point for Royce Tobino.
Fourth point for Royce Tobino. So she has to be able to celebrate each and every point. Paminsan, yan yung confidence booster. The players talk to themselves and tell na, kaya ko to, and I can score more points for my team.
And of course, to release that tension and possibly that pressure, because we keep mentioning it, wala na si Jov Gonzaga. So there's a lot of maybe pressure, we don't know, but the load is definitely heavier for her.
Black Mamba Army has to polish yung services nila because they've been giving away multiple points off that line.
Therefore gives F2 that chance to extend that lead. But as we were talking, service error here for Kiana Lee. If I'm not mistaken, her second for this set. We got some substitutions for the Lady Troopers. We have Aiko Ordaz and Gonzalez. They go to Abby. Again, the miscommunication continues here for the Lady Troopers, Neil.
Even with the softest of touches, mukhang walang sagot yung Black Mamba Army. Good adjustment on the side of Abby Maranyo. Medyo mataas yung set, but she still managed to put that over.
Good coverage. Free ball here for F2. That is an error on the part of Aragalang. To 14 is our score here in our second set. It is opening game day for the 2022 PVL Open Conference. Royce Tobino. Great reaction on that one.
We all know her caliber. We know that she's a power hitter. We know that she can easily score 15 to 20 points. Nagkataon lang na medyo mabagal yung start ng first set. But she's been playing better in this set.
Abby Maranyo again! Ang tulis ng Neil.
You cannot give Abby Maranyo a single block. Dahil gamay niya na yung slide attack na yan. Even from her Lasal days.
Take a look at that. And she is definitely enjoying herself here in the Paco Sports Arena. Here comes Tobino. Todenada. They go to Aragala and she is blocked. Baron.
They go to Aiko Ordaz. Ball is still alive. Back to Tobino. Over the blockers, but Ara was there. Chamzon straight to the net.
Definitely too low on the contact for Tin Tiamzon. But Ara Galang has been defending really well also for the side of F2 Logistics.
We are now at 19-16. F2 with a lead. Just a 3-point lead for them.
And for Black Mamba Army, 3 points is still manageable, but you have to make your move now dahil papalapit na po tayo sa final stretch of the second set.
Back set to Baron. And then si Paran. They go back to Aiko Ordaz. Aiko Ordaz looking more confident as well.
Kung titingnan mo kung saan kumukuha ng points itong Black Mamba Army, usually it's really off the hands of the defenders of F2 Logistics. And if it's working, why change it? Keep on going to that same play.
They go to Baron. Quick hit from Joy Baron as we take a look at it again.
That's the thing when you have a lot of options for attack. Malilito at malilito yung blockers ng kalaban mo.
Gonzalez will go back to Ordaz. Single block by Majoy Baron. Which prompts Coach Kung Fu to call a timeout for the Lady Troopers.
Diyan mo talaga makikita yung disiplina ng mga middle blockers ng F2 Logistics. Even if it's a broken play, they would still attempt to get that block point. And it pays for them.
But of course, Neil, a better showing here for the Lady Troopers in our second set. What do you think they need to do still to be able to possibly take the set or make it close? Kasi 21-17 is our score now. And kaya pa naman humabol nitong Lady Troopers, but they do need a lot of discipline.
Yeah, we have to give props to the coverage of Black Mamba Army. Nag-improve na compared to that first set. So the attackers are more comfortable in exerting more power and challenging the blockers of F2 Logistics. But I am still looking for that hot hand kung sining kayang pumuntos consecutively for Black Mamba Army.
Back to Ordaz. Iris will go to Majoy. Back to Tobino.
Finally, she comes alive in this second set. Welcome back, Royce Tobino. Well, aside from the coverage that I pointed out earlier, kailangan din nila kahit papano to register aces and blocks. Right now, F2 has 7 blocks compared to the 0 of Army, and 4 aces, again, compared to the 0 of Army.
And we have Ging Balse Pabayo, who is back on the court, hoping to add more coverage at the net for Army. But the service errors, again, here for the Lady Troopers, really plaguing them. (22 serving 18). They go to Tobino. Great defense by Army. Back to Morente.
Kim D.
Not right now, said Kiana D.
Just all over that ball.
And they are friends. Kiana and Michelle are friends. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have a good laugh about that later on. Perez to Tobino. Defense is good. Back to Piano D.
Kim D just doing it all for F2 Logistics. From the blocking to attacking.
And she is on fire today, Neil. Let's take a look at that. Challenging the blockers. Ging Base Pabayo of Army.
And if you notice sa attackers ng F2 Logistics, mabibilis din sila pumalo. So the moment na malate yung middle blocker ng Black Mamba Army.
It could pose as a problem.
That's correct.
Morente will try. Doon si Makandili. Scrambling to get that ball. They go to Tubino.
Miss hit from Royce Tubino. A closer fight in the second set, but F2 will steal this one, 25-18.
Volleyball action will be right back, right here on One Sports. We are back and you're still watching the PVL 2022 Open Conference only here on One Sports. So what a second set that was, Neil. Of course, napunta yun sa F2 Logistics Cargo Movers, but valiant effort by the Lady Troopers, much better than the first.
Yeah, they definitely made a few adjustments, and later on when you look at the statistics, alam ko na kung saan nagkukulang itong Black Mamba Army. Aside from the service errors na ibinibigay nila sa F2 Logistics, they're having a hard time reading the set plays of Iris Tolinada. Kadalasan, you get to see na nalilate yung middle blockers. Maraming beses, single block din yung mga attackers ng F2 Logistics. So that is another adjustment that they have to make in this third set if they still want to extend it to a fourth frame. 3 big blocks for F2 Logistics. Army can actually match the firepower in terms of attacks, 12 apiece. Pero when it comes to the blocking department and the serving department, 3-2 against the love of Black Mamba Army.
So yun nga yung missing pieces nitong Lady Troopers, ang kanilang blocking at ang kanilang serving. So hopefully this time around, Coach Kung Fu Reyes has talked to his girls properly at kaya nilang makuha itong set number 3 as it goes to the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers.
Kim D is still leading all the scorers for F2 Logistics. 11 points under her name, followed by Aragalang with 7 and Abby Maranyo with 6. For Black Mamba Army, it's Michelle Morente with 6 points, Royce Tubino with 6 points, and Villarreal with 3 points.
You know, Neil, one of the more important things to note as well is that when we take a look at these two teams, right now we can see them, right? Itong si F2 Logistics, they're just having fun. Right? Parang walang pressure. They're just having fun. They're enjoying the game. And when I also spoke to them a while back, they said that they're just very excited to be playing with their fellow volleyball players at last.
And now Zia Hervasio will be seeing her first action in red and yellow. I know, sanay tayo.
Yes, it's very strange to see Z alongside Majoy Baron and Aragalang and even Abby Maranyo. But we'll see how she will be integrated in this team. Fiery start here for our set number 3. Morente, chance here for Gutierrez. And here comes Z. That is outside for Z Hervasio. Good attempt though. First attempt as a cargo mover.
Actually, that's a good addition for F2 Logistics. Alam naman natin, medyo nagpahinga si Z and she focused on beach volleyball. But she's a very versatile indoor player. She can play opposite, she can play open. And with her developed court sense, she can also contribute defense-wise.
Absolutely. And Neil, what can we expect from Z? Because we've talked about this also a couple of times. But then Z also has a very, let's say, also fiery personality. She has a very dominant personality on the court, especially very vocal, much like Abby Maranya. So what do you think they're going to gel? I mean, we're seeing them right now. Abby is not there. But then, how do you think that's going to work out for F2, having a lot of strong personalities in their team?
I know that Z is a very vocal leader and Abby Maranya is also a very vocal leader. So, siguro in training, they were able to talk it out kung paano ba tatakbo yung team dynamic.
Hindi pwede
But
parehas.
you won't fall short on leadership, that's for sure.
So that is a big advantage that F2 has. It's that they have leaders, a lot of leaders. Even Kiana D, who started as one of the babies of the group. Nakita natin na leader na rin siya. Now back to this game. We are tied at 2 points. Clem Gutierrez serving for Army. Great coverage at the net, led by Base Pabayo. Royce Tobino. Don't see Nunag. That is a violation. Point for the Cargo Movers.
Double contact violation called on Jem Gutierrez.
That sails out. Puntos for the Cargo Movers. Unfortunate service error for the veteran.
I'm sure this is one area na talagang binibigyan ng oras when it comes to training. And there are a lot of factors actually why people commit service errors. Sometimes mababa yung bato ng bola, too low on the contact.
It could also be nerves. As simple as that, nerves. That is a point for Army. Now they tie this game again at 4-all here in our third set. Good serve by Morente. To Aragalang, she is denied. Kennedy met at the net. Royce Tobino. That is good for Tobino.
Good target for Royce Tobino. When you're given a set na hindi mo preference, you can target the corner pocket so that maging alanganin for the defenders. Mapapaisip sila, will I take it or bibitawan ko ba? Judgment call, kumbaga.
Parang risk na rin for them. Army now with a 1-point lead. Aragalang. That is a net touch violation. Again, we are tied at 5.
Siguro 3 out of the 5 points of F2 Logistics came from the errors of Black Mamba Army.
Kennedy now with 12 points off 7 attacks, 4 blocks, and 1 ace.
He's the only double digit scorer right now on the floor, if I'm not mistaken.
Speaking of errors, another error here for Army. Attack error on the part of Villarreal. That was too low for her. Kennedy will serve. Tobino again.
Royce Tobino getting that contact. Alam natin kung kailan confident si Royce Tobino. She knows the direction, she knows her advantage. and she will convert.
Ball is kept alive as they go to Aragalang. Sends it to the other side. Ara again. Good move by Ara. Smart play by Galang there, Neil.
Gonzalez tried to put it over pero medyo nabitin na. And Aragalang has been very smart in choosing her attacks. She would go for cross-court and then down the line when you least expected. But yung mga soft touches, it actually erases the defensive pattern of your opponent. Nagkakagulo lalo eh.
Jem Gutierrez. Another attack error for the Lady Troopers as we go to our first technical timeout of set number 3. F leads 8-6. Sulit saya ang inyong panonood kasama ang Sulit TV. Entertainment, sports, news, and information, andito na lahat. Mapapanood ang TV5, One Sports, One PH at lahat ng free-to-air channels. Siksik na, digital at malino pa sa halagang 780 pesos lang. Now let's turn it over again to our courtside reporter, Ai Tansay, for her report about Iris Tolenada. Go ahead, Ai.
Kita naman natin sa sets 1 and 2 ang mga mabubulagang at matuling setup ni Iris Tolenada, ang Phil-Am National setter, na talagang sinabi naman that she is ready to win this competition. More than that, she believes that the Cargo Movers have a huge target on their backs, but no one is going to stop them. Personally, she aims to run an efficient offense and to strengthen her service. Let's see how they convert this PVL debut either into a lesson or a satisfying win.
Thank you so much, Ai. And well, Iris so far, as Neil mentioned, is doing a great job setting that ball and distributing that ball, really controlling that offense for F2.
She fits right in the system of Coach Ramil. Like what I said a while ago, no major adjustments for Iris Tolenada.
Exactly.
She has a lot of talented attackers and defenders with her. Even the bench, napakalalim ng bench ng F2 Logistics Cargo Movers.
You know, the thing with Iris is she was very receptive to the lessons that Coach Ramil had also, or were, you know, wanted to teach her. And that's a great thing always as an athlete. Back to this game. F2 leading by 1 point.
Point for the legend, Ying Basepabayo. It's always nice to see her on the floor. And she just gives off that vibe.
Yes. Parang nakakakalmado yung presence ni Ying Basepabayo. 9-all now for both Army and the F2. So a chance here for the Lady Troopers to really take that lead and take control of this third set if they still want to extend it to a fourth one and a fifth one.
Another unforced error for Black Mamba Army. I just got the numbers. They actually have 17 attack faults compared to the 6 of F2 Logistics. So you see how clean F2 is playing at this point.
That is a glaring number as well for the Lady Troopers. Makandile to Tolenada, back set, Kiana D!
What else can we say?
And we will leave it at that. As Coach Kung Fu again will call a timeout.
Masyado ay no-overwhelm dun sa mga puntos na ginagawa natin. Ang problema, pagbalik sa next action, tuloy sa serve. Kumuha tayo ng score, tapos pagdating sa serve, itatapon natin. Nawawala yung yung pinaghihirapan nyo. Bakit ka mo? Kasi nagbibigay, sige lang, bigyan natin ng punto sa kabila eh. Kanina pa yung first set. First set, ilan ang error natin? Halos 13 yata o 15. Walang kahirap-hirap yung F2 may score. Tayo naman, hirap na yung kuha ng score. Mamimigay lang tayo ng punto. Bawas error tayo, bawas error.
Opening game day here at the Paco Sports Arena. We just heard Coach Kung Fu Reyes. Obviously not very happy with how things are going for his girls. Great defense by F2. Soft touch. It's good.
Good point of that timeout. If you listen in the timeouts of Coach Kung Fu, it has been the same. He kept on stressing na it's so hard to get a point against this team and we're giving away 3 points just like that.
They cannot make it easy for the cargo movers here in this game and in this set, most especially. They go to Piano D. And no one happier than Iris Tolenada because of that point.
Perhaps that was her 13th or 14th point of this match.
Comes the Herbasha. We miss her jump serves, by the way. Great blocking by Majoy Baron. Blocked again. Changing the approach. And it works.
That is experience for you. Ingbang sa babae, not pushing the issue. Makita niya, medyo malayo naman yung defender sa likuran ng blocker. So that soft touch did it for Black Mamba Army. They're just down by 1 point.
And this feels like the longest third set ever. But score now is just 12-11. Another soft touch. Colenada will go to Baron. Great blocking, finally, from Army. Here comes Tobino. F2 answers back just like that. The swag is back.
That was a sigh of relief for Royce Tobino. Buti na lang walang kumuha. It was already going outside.
And that point actually nullifies the swag of Majoy Baron, unfortunately.
This is the closest set we've had so far.
Biglang bawi naman itong si Majoy Baron. F2 with a slim 1-point lead, 13-12. Oh, and we have Jesma Ramos, first time playing for F2, and look at how her ates, welcome her on the court, and that's the kind of family that we're really looking at here for F2.
Yeah, we're used to seeing the core of F2 being Lasalians, pero they're finally integrating other athletes from different teams para mas mapalakas at mag-grow pa yung F2 program.
We mentioned in that pre-game that, looking at this lineup of F2, it is very surprising. I mean, also with Army, very surprising. But then how does this change the dynamic of the system that they have right now, Neil, for both teams, integrating the new players?
I think wala naman masyadong magbabago. It's a matter of growth na lang, that you are open into really learning also from the new players. Kasi bawat bagong player na nanggaling sa ibang team can also provide an edge dun sa panibagong team.
So we will see how Jesma Ramos will fare in her first game with F2. They go to Topino. And doon si Don Macandiri.
Kim D again. We've heard her name over and over in today's coverage. Now she will be moving to that service line.
Remember, she had 2 service errors in the second set. Substitutions here for Army. We have Ivy Perez for Sarah Jane Gonzalez and Aiko Ordaz for Michelle Morente. Kennedy for the serve. They go to Tobino.
That's the Royce Tubino na kilala natin. And when she's against a single block, you can expect her to go all out in terms of power.
No fear Tobino on that attack.
Jesma Ramos was too late.
And right now, she has 11 points in this game, Neil. F2 again with that 1-point lead. Teodoro Gutierrez.
That's a violation. You cannot attack pag nag-overhead set yung libero from the front line.
Good call by the referee as we go to our second technical timeout of set number 3. F2 with a lead 16-14. One Sports is available for free on Signal Play. One Sports Plus is available on Signal Play Premium for 75 pesos a month. Back here in the 2022 PVL Open Conference, Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers versus the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Pretty tight third set we're having right now, Neil.
This is also a better distribution from Ivy Perez. Kasi na-activate niya na yung mga middle blockers niya as well as the outside hitters.
Proving to be one of the better sets that we're having right now in this game. Unfortunately, another service error for the Lady Troopers, care of Janet Villarreal.
On my unofficial count, that's their 13th service error.
That is 13 points to F2. Jesma Ramos, 5'9", out of UP, decided to forgo her last playing year. They go to Aiko Ordaz, challenging the blockers. She wants to try again, denied the second time around. Different approach for her. Chance here for F2. Baron through the block. Tobino from the back row. Ara diving for that ball. Another soft touch. Fortunately, straight to the net for Sia Herbacio.
Ran out of gas. That's just a one-point ball game. This is the perfect opportunity for Black Mamba Army to tie things up. And if Gonzalez can score off that service line, they can tie the ball game at 17 apiece.
So what is Army doing right here in this third set, Neil? Kasi tignan natin yung score, 1-point lead nga sabi mo.
Well, mas okay na yung attack rotation nila. Everybody's contributing. Kanina, we saw a lot of the points come from Mitch Morente. And in terms of efficiency sa outside spiker, right now, she has the highest percentage and that off-the-block hits have been working for Black Mamba Army.
It's great to see Mitch Morente flourishing here with the Lady Troopers. Great first game for her, debut game for Army. Nunag will give it up to Gutierrez. That is outside for Gem. Trying to avoid those blockers. Medyo malakas lang ng konti.
If you actually combine the attack faults and service errors of Black Mamba Army, that's practically one full set already given to F2. And marami pa silang makakaharap na malalakas din na teams in the succeeding game. So they have to be able to play cleaner.
However, they're attacking this time around, Neil, Take a look at this replay.
Base Babayo.
Babayo.
I really loved her interview na no matter kung sino yung kalaban natin, hindi kami aatras and we will give our all to win games.
Yan ang tapang ng isang taga-Army talaga. And we've been saying this in many coverages. Kennedy. Doon si Sarah Jane Gonzalez. They go back to Tobino. And Royce Tobino is feeling it here in our third set.
She didn't score in the first set, but in the second set, she managed to score 6 points. And now I think that's her 6th point also in set number 3.
Take a look at that. Veteran moves from Royce Tobino. Army now with a lead, 19-18. Great blocking. F2 scrambling to get it up. They will go back to Royce Tobino. Great hustle by Aragalang.
Just look at the reach of Kim D. You already have the hops, you have that height,
We were not expecting that, to say the least.
but the full extension was there.
She says again, nope, not right now. See, Hervasio will serve. They go back to Morente. We need something from Army right now. Again, Royce Tobino.
No fear. Ngayon parang wala nang double block in front of her. It's the same power. Talagang nagising na.
And it's nice to see her more confident here in this third set. When we take a look at that first set, sabi mo nga, she didn't have any points. Second set, she had 6 points. But every time she would commit an error, she would be shaking her head, very frustrated. So to see her now, raring to go, is such a sight. Back set to Tiana D. Arrow with a soft touch. Second time.
Royce Tobino already knew that Aragalang was going to go for a drop ball. That's why she was very disappointed na sinungkit nung middle blocker pa yung drop ball na yon. She was already there.
Kumbaga ready na siya, in position na siya. Well, again, Neil, communication is very important. Jeanette Villarreal gives a point to her team, and they are in the lead 21-20. So at this point, it could really go to any team. Hesitation move. Army looking more composed here. Tobino challenging the blockers again.
Munag has been very steady on the floor for Black Mamba Army.
She is the best digger and receiver for her team. Back to Tobino. Royce Tobino carrying her team, Neil, here in the third set.
Royce Tobino, as expected, will be the top scorer for this conference for Black Mamba Army. They're up by 2 points. Now F2 Logistics will call for time.
For all our volleyball fans, aren't you just so happy that volleyball is finally back? Because I know that Neil is extremely happy. He has been smiling this whole coverage watching all of this. Take a listen on.
Guys, walang papayag ah. Hindi pa papayag. And game, F2!
Of course, that timeout can be summed up in one sentence. Guys, walang papayag ah. As per Abby Maranyo, and we all know what that means.
That's the championship mindset for Chang Abby.
And she will come back. Jesma Ramos making her debut for the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Will take a break. Score right now, 22-20. Army in the lead. This is our third set. Michelle Morente on your screens. 7 points off 7 attacks. Tolenada will go to Abby Maraño. Chows at the net. With the help of the elbow, it stays with F2. Great blocking by Army. Much braver Lady Troopers in the third set. They go to Aragalang. Signature move, no go. Here comes Tobino, changing it up. Again, Aragalang.
And that's a miscommunication error once again for Black Mamba Army, Nunag and Morente.
And you would think that they would already anticipate that it would come from Aragalang. Well, they are still holding on to that 1-point lead, but don't look now because F2 wants to work as they have Rem Kailing on the floor. And we have Chloe Cortez. Rem Kailing, of course, a setter. Chloe Cortez, an opposite for F2. Another joust at the net.
Smart hit from Royce Tubino.
23-21, Neil.
That's her 9th point out of 20 attempts in this set alone. Roughly at 42-44% efficiency.
And she knew she had big shoes to fill coming into this conference, and she's not letting her team down. Gutierrez. Don't look now, but the Lady Troopers are at set point.
They might not have so many block points, but they make up for it sa coverage and dun sa digging department ng Black Mamba Army. That was a clear net violation on one of the blockers of F2 Logistics.
Oh, chance ball here for the Lady Troopers. Great coverage by Morente. Who will take that swing? And the Lady Troopers, Neil, via that error, that costly error by Rem Kailing, they will take set number 3. We move forward with this game. Magbabalik po ang PVL Open Conference 2022. We're back and you're still watching the 2022 PVL Open Conference only here on One Sports. Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers versus the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. And what a third set. Nakuha yon ng Lady Troopers. They said they did not want to go home just yet.
The tables have turned and Black Mamba Army is finally awake. F2 Logistics tried to field in different substitutions but clearly didn't work for them. Black Mamba Army capitalized also on the lack of blocking in F2 Logistics in that specific set.
And of course, we can't not talk about Royce Tubin, who just had an amazing third set for her team. As we take a look at the statistics for that third set.
This is actually surprising. 18 attacks from Black Mamba Army compared to the only 9 of F2 Logistics. And sanay tayo in the past 2 sets. Lamang na lamang yung F2 Logistics in the blocking department. But this time around, they weren't able to register any block point. And dun mo makikita yung sinasabi mo pa kanina, Billy, yung confidence ng attackers ng Black Mamba Army.
Turning out to be a pretty exciting opening game, Neil. Once again, the F2 Logistics, they won sets 1 and 2. Nakuha naman ng Black Mamba Army Lady Troopers ang set number 3. And now we have set number 4 underway. We are live here at the Paco Arena. And behind us, we have the Signal HD Spikers who are waiting in the wings to face the defending champions, the Cherry Tigo Crossovers. That's going to be at 6 p.m. right after this match.
For those people who just tuned in, first game pa lang po ito. We still have one exciting match after this one. So stay tuned for that Cherry Tigo and Signal clash.
I mean, for this open conference, you'd expect the unexpected. During the off-season, ang daming player rotations, changes in lineup, and I feel like it's going to translate here in our open conference.
And for the preliminaries, isang beses lang nila makakatapat yung mga nasa pool nila. So if Black Mamba Army can snatch this win, that will really help their journey in this conference.
Liguro Gutierrez avoiding the blockers. It works for her.
Army just being patient in their attacks. Di bali nang hindi malakas yung binibigay nating opensa. But as long as we get to confuse the defenders with those soft touches, it can work in our favor. The leading scorer for Black Mamba Army right now is Royce Tubino. No surprise there, 15 points. And for F2 Logistics, again, we have Kiana D with 16.
You know, we were talking a while ago that the Army was a little too quiet. But they are shouting now on the court. They are celebrating every single point. So let's go back to that confidence that, you know, we were talking about. Parang paunti-unti nabibuild na yung kumpiyansa nila sa larong ito.
That's one of the big contributions also for Gingbal si Pabayo. Aside from the skills, dahil alam natin, meron na siya nun eh. It's the energy and motivation that she can give dun sa mga players on the floor to score more points. And even Gutierrez now enjoying her time on the court.
They seem more relaxed and a little bit looser than when they started this game. I don't know if the fans at home can hear it, but they are definitely celebrating on the court right now. At napatahimik naman itong F2 Logistics. Unfortunately, a service error on the part of Sarah Jane Gonzalez. Lucky point for F2. They are down by 2 points early on in our fourth set. 4-2 is our score. Scrambling for that ball, they send it to the other side. Miscommunication again. Tolinada to Baron. They go to Kiana D. They need something here, and she delivers.
17th point for KKD.
Aragalang. And so much power from that attack from Jem Gutierrez. Let's take a look at it again.
Kagaya ni Royce Tubino, she had a slow start, still trying to find her touches, but
Just touching the end of that line, the end of that court.
and when she scored her first point, nagtuloy-tuloy na din for Gutierrez.
Tiamzon off the hand of Jelay Nunag.
It's nice to hear Tin Tiamzon's name na mabuhay ulit kasi kanina pa natin naririnig si KKD. And if they can get more points from Tin Tiamzon, pwedeng mas makuha nila yung kalamangan.
That is a point for F2 here. Majoy Baron straight to the net for F2. They go to Tiamzon again. She is blocked, and they try to chase that. But it will go to the Lady Troopers. Very, very good start for the girls in green.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Billy. I think that was the first official block point for Black Mamba Army. They were able to dominate the attacking department in set number 3.
Yung blocks lang talaga.
So imagine if they dominate the attacks department plus the blocking department, di ako magugulat kung talagang papasok tayo into a 5th set. And I'm sure that's the goal of Coach Kung Fu. When we get to the 5th set, kahit kaninong game na ito.
Patas na ng patas ang laban. And now we are at 7-5 with the Lady Troopers in the lead. Kiana D serving. They go to Tobino. Polinada, Champion wanted it. She was asking for it.
She had a little bit of help dun sa tape ng net. But a point is a point. We are now tied at 7-all.
We'll go to our first technical timeout of set number 4. F2 with a lead, 8-7. Sulit saya ang inyong panonood kasama ang Sulit TV. Entertainment, sports, news, and information, andito lahat. Mapapanood ang TV5, 1 Sports, 1 PH at lahat ng free-to-air channels. Siksik na, digital at malinaw pa sa halagang 780 pesos na. Let's turn it over to Ai Tansay for her report.
Yes, and just like what was discussed earlier, Gingbal Sipabayo, Honey Royce Tobino, and Jem Gutierrez are the key options of the Army Lady Troopers. Coach Kung Fu reminded the team na kailangan nila ma-convert ang kanilang mga block and service receive into points to get them to an advantage. Moreover, they need to continue their solid, unintimidated blocks from F2's powerful spikes and expand their coverage. If they set their communication right, malayo ang mararating ng Army this PVL season. Let's go back to set 4.
Thank you so much, Ai, for that wonderful report. Giving us an insight sa mga thoughts ni Coach Kung Fu Reyes. And he should be very proud of this team. Right now, we are at 8-all. And things looking good for the Lady Troopers so far. They go to Abby Maraño. Bringing that energy back to the cargo mover side. Parang sila naman yung tumahimik ng konti, Neil, dito sa third set. Take a look at that again. Classic.
And parang nandun yung bigat ng presence ni Abby Maraño. You can just feel that intimidating force when she's up front.
But you know, as an athlete yourself, Neil, how important is it to have that teammate like Abby Maraño na kahit anong mangyari, cheer pa din ng cheer, you know, really trying to group everybody to keep fighting.
Yeah, sometimes kasi not all the players on the court are 100%. So when you're having a teammate na nahihirapan to get her game going, it really helps pag merong nagmo-motivate sa kanya para makabawi rin siya.
Abby is definitely that person for F2, and they are down by 1 point here against the Lady Troopers. They go to Ara. Gonzalez will go to Gem.
That ball didn't go over. And again, we are tied at 10-all.
Lots of deadlocks in our third set. We go back to Gutierrez. And to Majoy. Back set to Baron. Now we'll go to the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers, and again, they take the lead in the third set.
I don't know if you noticed, ang ganda nung ginagawa ni Iris Tolenada. She always looks at the blockers ng Army bago niya ibibigay dun sa slide attack ni Majoy Baron. Kaya kadalasan nalilit talaga.
Veteran moves from Iris Tolenada. Smart move as well. That is a point for the Lady Troopers. Now Kim D, or Kiana D, not finding her rhythm here.
Maganda yung ginagawa ng Army. They're actually setting the pace of this set to their advantage. And ang nangyayari, itong F2, sumasabay dun sa pace ng Army.
We're not used to seeing F2 like this, by the way.
Especially after seeing them in the first 2 sets.
Exactly. Back to Ara, she will try again. Gutierrez. Another point for F2. So dikit na dikit ang laban natin sa ating third set.
Same attempt, same result for Gutierrez as Bunag will replace her.
Let's see what Bunag has to offer off the bench. Sabina from the back row, straight to the net.
That's the third attack error in the past few sequences for Black Mamba Army. And Coach Kung Fu will burn one of his timeouts dahil alam niyang abot kamay pa ito. It's just a 2-point lead for F2 Logistics, so they have to put a stop to it now.
Nakakalimutan yung huminga ng maayos. Dahil sa ano naman tayo nag-error, puro atake naman ang attack error natin. Huwag niyong piliting patayin agad. Ilagay niyo lang muna yung maayos yun ng bola sa kabila. Si Don natin sa zone 5. Huwag niyong dalhin Don natin. Diba, backline naman eh. Lagay niyo lang muna. Eh, malakas niya. Pero not over naman. Sayang.
Coach Kung Fu trying to break that momentum from the side of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Tolenada serving. That is way too strong for the setter.
It's their turn to give away free points to Black Mamba Army.
They are down, or they are up rather, by 1 point against Army. They go to Kiana. Too long for Bunag.
Medyo malamig pa off the bench. That was clearly a mishit from Bunag.
Balik na naman sa dalawa ang lamang ng F2 Logistics. They go to Morente. Tianzon will try. That is outside for Thin Tianzon.
And Tianzon really trying to score off that cross-court hit. But it looks like Black Mamba Army is intentionally leaving that zone to the libero. And they're locking down dun sa down the line hit.
Just a 1-point lead for the Cargo Movers. Morente. Back to Tianzon. Chance here for Army. Oh, they go to Royce Tobino. Great defense by Makandili. Tianzon is blocked. They go to Kiana. Good coverage. That clearly hit the antenna. Point for the Cargo Movers.
Tobino tried to save it. Pero may hangganan din yung abot niya.
Two-point lead for the Cargo Movers. It has been awfully quiet here in the Paco Arena. Everybody's pretty tense watching this game. And Royce Tobino not tense at all. Getting that through. 1-point lead na lang ang F2.
Mas mataas na yung percentage ni Royce Tobino now compared to the first 3 frames.
Kiana. Looking a little frazzled, talking about Kiana D. Pero mahaba pa itong set na to.
It's gonna be a race to 10. You don't often see KKD commit those kinds of
Exactly.
errors. But Gimbal Cepabayo will give the 16th point to F2 Logistics as we enter our technical timeout.
Back here at the Paco Sports Arena, and just reminding everybody that the 2022 Premier Volleyball League is also available on Smart Giga Play. So wherever you are, you can access our games. And speaking of our games, this is just 1 out of 2 matches that we will be having today for our Wednesday doubleheader. It is opening game day here in the PVL. Later on at 6 p.m., it will be the Signal HD Spikers taking on the defending champs, the Cherry Tigo Crossovers. That will be a very exciting match. But let's go back to this match at hand. We are now tied at 16 all. Welcomed by that error on the part of F2.
That's the 3rd consecutive error, if I'm not mistaken, for the side of F2 Logistics.
So what's happening to F2 now, Neil? I'm pretty sure that's a question that's on a lot of people's minds who are watching right now. It's a very different F2 that we're watching here in this first set.
I was actually surprised when they didn't register a single block point in that 3rd set. At doon nagsimula yun. Naukuha ng Black Mamba Army yung attack options na gusto nila, and they're getting to keep the score close. Let's add that fact na nagbibigay pa ng free points tong F2 Logistics.
A more composed Lady Troopers team is what we're seeing right now here in this 4th set. So inuunti-unti nila itong laro na to. They go to Tobino, and she literally kind of tapped her teammates out and said, "This is mine."
Papalapit na siya sa 20-point mark. Talking about Royce Tubino, and buti na lang that she regained that confidence that we were looking for.
The team needed her and still needs her at this point. They go to Abby. Better communication also from the Lady Troopers. They go back to Abby Maraño. Great save by Tubino. They go to Aiko Ordaz. Back to Abby. And finally, third attempt is good.
I remember what she said in the timeout, walang papayag. And they're now leading by 1, and talagang hindi siya papayag to give away this game to Black Mamba Army.
She is definitely leading by example, and that's what we really like about Abby. She walks the talk. And right now, F2 with that slim 1-point lead.
Oh, great save from Nunag.
Jelay Nunag really doing wonders for the Lady Troopers. This is going to be a chance here for F2. Nandoon si Bunag. They go to Tubino from the back row. Back to Ara. Nobody there.
F2 Logistics finally established a 2-point lead. Actually, bili lamang ang Black Mamba Army in the attacks department, 45 compared to the 38 of F2 Logistics. Pero lamang naman ang F2 sa blocking department, 8 compared to 1, and in the service, 6 compared to 0.
Well, the Lady Troopers making up for it in other aspects of their game, and that is a block. That is a block from Matoy Maron.
I don't think that was the best choice for Black Mamba Army.
Matoy awfully silent here in this fourth set as well. They need that spark plug even if they're leading by 3 points. Lalaban itong Army, and just as I was saying that, service error for F2.
King Balse Pabayo will march back in. That's a new attack option for Gonzalez.
Villarreal serving. And the errors again from the Lady Troopers. The service errors to be specific.
Coach Kung Fu was actually pointing at the scoreboard. We're already at the 20-point mark. And now is not the time to commit these kinds of errors.
21-18 with F2 in the lead. They will go to Bunag. Through that block. Back to Piana. They were prepared for it. They go back to Jo Bunag. Babalik kay Piana. Andoon si Royce Tubino. Here comes Ara. She is blocked. And the veteran, King Balse Papayo. Remember that name.
Now they have 3 attackers in the front row. You have Mitch Morente, you have King Balse Pabayo, and you have Bunag.
Just 1 point, Neil. 21-20. What an opening game.
It's really just a glimpse kung ano pa yung mangyayari in the next coming game days.
Biglang bawi naman ng F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Serving 20 with Aragalang on the service line for the Cargo Movers. They go to Ging. Nandun si Morente. Babalik kay Bunag. Here comes Kiana. from the back row. And Kennedy, just like that, makes a reappearance in this game.
When you need to finish a ball game, you go to your top scorer. That's KKD's 19th point of this ball game.
And such finesse from Kennedy. Timeout, itong si Coach Kung Fu Reyes. 2 points na ang damang ng F2, 23-20. That's the sinit.
Bakit tayo hit the ground? Sayang eh, nahihigaan agad natin pero nakatapat tayo sa depensa. Pag magdulo-dulo ka dyan, lalaki niyan. Hihirapin talaga tayo nito. Kailangan mo pa-play. Lansihin mo. Hindi, anong pa-play mo? Si Michelle, pwede mo pa-play ng press. Press mo. Pwede mag-running to. Balik, di ba? Balik nag-running ngayon. Kasi mo, may
Once again, the score right now is 23-20 with F2 in the lead. It's been a very, very exciting match so far, especially this fourth set. Nobody wants to go home just yet.
What a time to come alive after getting block points. Ngayon naman, Majoy Baron getting involved in attacking. They're just 1 point away from getting their first win in the PVL.
Crucial times here. Morente. And there's a touch.
There was a touch. That's a good call from the
everybody
referee.
holding their breath in the Lady Trooper side. But she knew that there was a touch. Everybody, the bench of the Lady Troopers, holding their breath. They gotta take care of that ball. Bunag. Great effort by Nunag. What a save. Army hustling hard here. They go to Morente. And that point will go to the Lady Troopers.
F2 Logistics is asking for a double contact violation on the center of Black Mamba Army. Pero hindi yun mapagbibigyan. The point will remain with Army.
And they're still alive here in this fourth set, 24-22. F2 with the lead.
Oh, what an exclamation point to end the match, courtesy of KKD. Welcome to the PVL F2 Logistics.
What a game that was for both teams. You know, we cannot discredit the Lady Troopers. But let's take a look at that exclamation point to this game. Kiana D, what a performance from her, Neil.
And what a debut for the Cargo Movers.
Again, final score, 25-22 here in set number 4. We're going to be back for more volleyball here in the PVL. Back here, we're live at the Paco Sports Arena in Manila, and you're watching the 2022 PVL Open Conference only here on One Sports. And just like that, Neil, the F2 Logistics just announced their entry here in the PVL. But before anything else, let's turn it over to our best player of the game, who is now with Aitan Sai.
Yes, and here with me, player of the game, Kim Kennedy of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers with no other than 20 points. KKD, today is your long-awaited debut and your team's taking home the first win of the season. What is going through your mind right now?
It's very, we're very excited. We were very excited to play, and we're so happy that we get to play again. And it's our first time in the PVL. So, syempre, yun, we don't know sino yung mga kalaban, and we're just gonna keep preparing.
And what is your team going to adjust and sustain from this win onwards?
I guess makita naman sa game, medyo slow rin yung galaw namin, slow start. So I guess we have a lot more to improve on and more gelling as a team.
Yes, and do you have any message for your fans?
Hi to the F2 Logistics fans. Please continue supporting us in our journey here in the PVL and stay safe lagi.
Congratulations again, KKD, and to the rest of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Let's go back to the panel.
Thank you so much, Ai, and there you have it, our best player of the game. Well deserved, by the way, Kim Kennedy.
Sobrang deserve. And kitang-kita natin, she is in her top form. And we take a look at our game highlights.
What a game that was, Neil. Definitely just a delight to see such great volleyball action on the first day.
I know the fans are happy to see F2 Logistics get their first win. But for Black Mamba Army, still props to them. They tried to mount that comeback. Pero yun nga lang, yung finisher, yung killer instinct ng F2 Logistics kicked in that fourth set.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights of this game. Look at Kiana D. Game face on. What can you say though about the Lady Troopers? Because you were talking about this a while ago. We cannot discredit talaga yung effort na binigay nila sa laro na to.
Now for the Lady Troopers, now they know that they cannot start out slow. Kaya naman nila to match up in the attacks department with their opponents. But once they develop that discipline in the service line and in blocking, they can surely grab more wins and not just sets here in our preliminary round.
So would you say, Nina, yung blocking talaga is yung missing piece dito para sa Lady Troopers?
Definitely, and I think the numbers don't lie. They were able to get more attack points compared to F2 Logistics, 47 to 41. But when it comes to the blocking department, malaki talaga yung discrepancy, 10 to 1. And buti na lang, they were able to register more digs, plus 26 on the side of Black Mamba Army.
So, Neil, given what we saw from both our teams today, what can we expect now that nakita na natin sila in the next coming games?
Now that the first game jitters are over, you have to expect them to be more cohesive and more fluid on the court. Communication shouldn't be a problem for any of these teams dahil nasa professional league din tayo. And all of these players on the court na nakikita nyo, mga veterano din.
And up next, we have the Cherry Tigo crossovers, of course, the defending champions who will take on the Signal HD Spikers. Now, what can you say? Little preview for the fans we're still watching right now. Little preview of this game, Neil.
Well, Cherry Tigo, alam naman natin, they are the reigning PVL Conference champions and they will be challenged by a revamped Signal HD squad. Mamaya makikita nyo kung ano yung mga player movements na nangyayari. So don't go away and catch that game up next.
Of course, the volleyball action does not stop here. It does not end here. But that is it for us today. On behalf of One Sports, my partner Neil Flores, Alexis or Aitan Sai, Direk Raul de Ocampo, all our producers and everybody behind this production, I'm Billy Capistrano, thanking all of you for watching this coverage of the 2022 PVL Open Conference. This is the heart of volleyball.
Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Dep, ano mo nga sa'yo? Check, check, check. Naririnig naman kita.
Yeah.
Oo, naririnig
Oo.
kita. Check, check, check.
Ito, salita ka nga.
Check, 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 check.
Meron pa rin.
Check, 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 check.
Kasi dito, tinignan namin, di ba ito yun?
Oo.
Pag binaba ko to, hindi ko na maririnig si... Sino yan? Yung kabila.
Ibig sabihin, maganda yan.
Oo, maganda to. Ay.
Check, check,
Ano,
check,
palitan
check.
na lang natin.
Ano sabi ni Cap? Sige, palitan.
Palitan na, input lang naman eh.
Check, check, check. Yan. Check, check, check. Check, check.
Ha?
Ito, malakas to.
Ayaw, hindi na kita rinig pag binakababa ko.
Oo, sige, taas mo. Check,
Yan.
check, check,
Yan.
check, check, check. Ito din, malakas
Check,
na.
check, check. Oh. Ba't tanggalin mo yan? Baba mo, hindi mo.
Oo,
Wala na, ano?
Oo.
Oh, mas mag...
Natapon na yan. Kuha ka ng ina niyan.